Welcome to 24 Signal. I'm Mia. Today, business. Clear, sourced, and honest about what's still unknown. Let's begin.
I'm Layla, and here's today's signal on business. Here is an item we are tracking. The financial site TradingView has a page tracking earnings and revenue for the Vita Coco Company, listed under the ticker code 85E. Earnings reports are how investors check whether a company is making money and how its sales are doing. Notably, the information we received doesn't actually include any numbers. There are no revenue totals, no profit figures, and no details about which time period it covers. So, while we can tell you this page exists, we can't yet tell you what Vita Coco actually earned or whether the company did better or worse than expected. We're flagging this for a closer look, and we will report the figures once they are confirmed from the source. For now, that's all the source supports. Here's what we're following. Bloomberg reports that tech stocks are falling and Bitcoin's price is dropping, just as the company SpaceX prepares to sell shares to the public for the first time in what's called an IPO. Bloomberg frames this moment as a test of how much everyday investors are willing to stick with the market. Now, here's what we don't yet know. We don't have the exact size of the stock sell-off or the Bitcoin drop, and we don't have firm details on when the SpaceX share sale will happen or how big it will be. We're working from a single headline, so treat this as an early report, not a confirmed picture. Why does it matter? Big swings in tech stocks, in cryptocurrency, and a major company going public can all affect ordinary people's savings. We'll bring you more as clearer details come in. Here's what we're seeing today. According to a Bloomberg headline dated June 5, 2026, the chief executive of Goldman Sachs asked the bank's top lawyer to stay at the firm. This came after attention tied to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, here's the important part. That's essentially all the reporting we have access to right now. We don't know the lawyer's name, why exactly they may have considered leaving, or the full details of the Epstein connection. We're also working from a single source, so we're treating this as reported, not confirmed. Why does it matter? Goldman Sachs is one of the world's largest financial firms, and decisions about its senior legal leadership can affect how the company runs and how the public views it. We'll bring you more once additional, verified details become available. For now, we're flagging the gaps rather than filling them with guesses. Today's recap: Vita Coco earnings page, tech sell-off before SpaceX IPO, Goldman lawyer asked to stay. Today's sources: TradingView, Bloomberg.com.
That's today's signal. Every story sourced, checked, and human reviewed. I'm Mia. We'll see you in the next briefing.
Welcome to 24 Signal. I'm Daniel. Today, investments. The money in motion, with every figure traced to its source. Let's get to it.
I'm Layla, and here's today's signal on investments. Here's a developing business story. Reuters is reporting that a planned stock market launch for SpaceX, the rocket company, is seeing strong investor interest. According to Reuters, which cited unnamed sources, the offering is running at 2 times oversubscribed. In plain terms, that means investors have reportedly placed orders for about twice as many shares as the company is selling. Now, here's what we don't know yet. The report we're working from doesn't say how big the offering is, what price the shares would sell for, or exactly when it would happen. We also can't confirm this directly with SpaceX. Why does it matter? Strong demand can affect how much a company is worth and shows how eager investors are to buy in. But because this comes from a single report based on anonymous sources, we're labeling it as reported, not confirmed. We'll update you as more verified details come in. Here's something unusual from the legal world. Reuters is reporting that the well-known U.S. law firm Morgan & Morgan is looking into selling a stake in the firm and may eventually consider going public through an IPO. That's according to sources Reuters spoke with. Now, this would be notable because law firms are usually owned only by their partners, not by outside investors or stock market shareholders. So a move like this would be a real shift in how a big legal firm operates. But there's a lot we still don't know. Reuters didn't say how big the stake might be, who could buy it, how much it could be worth, or when any public listing might happen. The firm itself hasn't publicly confirmed these talks. We'll keep following this story as more details become clear.
Bloomberg is reporting that SpaceX's planned stock market debut has attracted more buy orders than there are shares available. In simple terms, that means more investors want a piece of the company than the offering can hand out. SpaceX is the rocket company founded by Elon Musk, and an IPO is when a private company first sells shares to the public. Right now, the details are thin. We don't know the share price, how big the offering is, when it would list, or exactly how much demand outstrips supply. Bloomberg is the only source for this so far, so we are treating it as reported, not confirmed. If the numbers hold up, strong demand could push up the company's value when shares start trading. We'll update this story as more details are confirmed.
Today's recap: SpaceX IPO oversubscribed demand. Law firm stake sale, SpaceX IPO oversubscribed. Today's sources: Reuters, Bloomberg.
That's today's signal. Every story here was sourced, checked, and clear about what we don't yet know. I'm Daniel. We'll see you in the next briefing.
Hello, I'm Mia. This is 24 Signal, signal not noise. Today, energy, the projects, the numbers, and what's confirmed versus still developing. Here's the briefing.
I'm Layla, and here's today's signal on energy.
General Motors says it has 2 projects in the works. On Earth, the company is preparing a new, lower-cost battery technology for electric cars, called LMR. That stands for lithium manganese rich. The idea is to make EV batteries cheaper to build. And off the planet, GM is taking part in something called the Pegasus Lunar Rover Collaboration, which involves a vehicle for the moon. This comes from a report by the website Clean Technica. For now, a lot of the details are still missing. We don't know the exact cost of the new battery, when it might show up in cars, or who all the partners are on the Moon Rover project. We also don't have a clear timeline for the lunar work. So treat this as an early announcement rather than a finished product. We'll keep following it as more information comes out.
Here's a development in clean transportation. The website Clean Technica reports that investors are putting more money into electric motorcycles across Africa. According to the outlet, this is being driven by rising fuel costs, more people wanting affordable ways to get around, and government policies that support clean energy. Clean Technica says investors are backing platforms designed to grow and scale up across the continent. Now, here's what we don't know yet. The report we have doesn't name specific companies, investors, or countries, and it doesn't include dollar figures showing the size of this investment. The source reports a direction but does not provide specific details. Why does this matter? Electric motorcycles could lower travel costs and cut pollution in busy African cities. And where investment money flows often shapes how people will move around in the years ahead.
Abu Dhabi has set a new goal for its energy future. According to Gulf Today, the Emirate plans to generate 60% of its electricity from clean and renewable sources by the year 2035. That means more than half of its power would come from clean and renewable sources instead of fossil fuels. Right now, the report doesn't say which government body announced this, what current renewable levels are, or exactly how they plan to reach the target. It also doesn't lay out the costs or the steps along the way. Still, if Abu Dhabi reaches this goal, it could change how the region produces energy and could affect the region's emissions over the next decade. We'll keep following this story as more details become available.
Today's recap: GM EV battery and lunar rover, African electric motorcycle investment, Abu Dhabi clean energy target. Today's sources: Clean Technica, Gulf Today.
And that's the signal for today. Thanks for watching. I'm Mia. We'll see you next time. Hey there, I'm Mia. This is 24 Signal, signal not noise. Today, business, the moves, the deals, and what each one actually tells us. Sourced and reviewed, here's the briefing.
I'm Layla, and here's today's signal on business. The head of ASML, the company that makes the machines used to build advanced computer chips, commented on how Europe handles large technology projects. According to Reuters, the company's CEO said the European Commission should not try to direct what he called strategic projects. According to the report, the CEO said European officials should not direct these projects. That's most of what we can confirm right now. The report we have is just a headline, so we don't yet know the CEO's full reasoning, exactly which projects he meant, or how the European Commission has responded. Why does this matter? ASML is a key supplier of equipment used to make advanced semiconductors. So when its leader weighs in on European policy, it can shape the larger conversation about how Europe manages its most important technology efforts. We'll update this story as more details become available. Reuters is taking a look at what Reuters frames as a potential test for the stock market, a possible public stock offering from SpaceX. In a market preview published on June 5, 2026, Reuters describes this potential offering as a test for the recent rise in U.S. stocks. When a major company sells shares to the public for the first time, it can shape how confident investors feel and hint at whether the market still has room to climb. For now, the details we have are limited. The preview does not give us a confirmed date, a price, or how much the company hopes to raise. We also can't confirm from this text whether SpaceX has formally filed the paperwork. We'll keep following this and bring you more once those specifics are available. Companies listed on the Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange reported a combined profit for the first quarter. According to the news outlet Zawiya, these listed firms posted a combined profit of about $13 billion in the first 3 months of the year. That figure covers the businesses that trade on Abu Dhabi's main stock market. Now, here's what we don't yet know. The report doesn't say which companies or industries earned the most, how this compares to the same period last year, or whether the numbers have been fully audited. Profit totals like this one can give investors a sense of how healthy a country's listed companies are and how the wider market is performing. Because this comes from a single source so far, we're treating it as reported rather than confirmed. We'll update this story as more detail becomes available. Today's recap: ASML CEO on EU policy, SpaceX IPO market test, ADX firm's quarterly profit. Today's sources: Reuters, Zawiya.
That's today's signal. Every story sourced, checked, and human reviewed. I'm Mia. We'll see you in the next briefing.
Welcome to 24 Signal. I'm Daniel. Today, investments. The money in motion, with every figure traced to its source. Let's get to it.
I'm Layla, and here's today's signal on investments.
Meta's stock fell on Thursday after a news report about how the company might pay for its push into artificial intelligence. According to CNBC, the Financial Times reported that Meta could potentially raise tens of billions of dollars by selling new shares of stock. That money would help fund its AI work. It's important to note this is a report about what the company could do, not something Meta has officially confirmed. We don't know the exact amount, when this might happen, or how much the stock dropped. Why does this matter? Raising large amounts of money can affect a company's shareholders, and it reflects the scale of spending major technology companies are directing toward artificial intelligence. We'll bring you more as the details become clearer.
Alphabet, the parent company of Google, is looking for new money from investors to help pay for an expansion. According to CNBC, the company expects to spend as much as $190 billion this year on things like its facilities. That's about double what it spent last year. To help cover those costs, CNBC reports Alphabet is turning to investors for fresh capital. This comes during a period when, the report says, Alphabet's stock has fallen for 4 weeks in a row. The source notes this occurs during the stock's decline. What we don't know yet is exactly how much capital Alphabet is seeking, what form that financing will take, or how investors are responding. We'll update this story as more details become clear.
Apple is about to hold its yearly event for software developers called WWDC, according to CNBC. This conference puts a spotlight on the company's plans for artificial intelligence. CNBC says CEO Tim Cook's approach to AI is under close watch, along with the future of Siri, Apple's voice assistant, which the outlet says could become a more capable action-taking tool. The report also points to the company's high stock value as something investors are paying attention to. What's not clear yet is exactly what Apple will reveal at the event, or what specific updates are coming to Siri. For now, this is a preview based on one news outlet's reporting, not a list of confirmed announcements. We'll know more once Apple actually presents at the conference.
Today's recap: Meta AI fundraising report. Alphabet seeks expansion capital. Apple WWDC AI scrutiny. Today's sources: CNBC.
That's today's signal. Every story here was sourced, checked, and clear about what we don't yet know. I'm Daniel. We'll see you in the next briefing.
Hey there, I'm Mia. This is 24 Signal, Signal not noise. Today, business, the moves, the deals, and what each one actually tells us. Sourced and reviewed, here's the briefing.